Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? It is your boy Wesley, and we want to thank you for coming back for another episode of the Tripledose podcast. If this is your first time watching us or listening to us, we thank you for coming back. Well, we thank you for coming if it's your first time. If you are a subscriber, we thank you for coming back again. I have my brother and my sister, Tori and Wise, with me, and we're going to go ahead and get this show started. I guess we need to go ahead and just do what we always do and start off with our check-ins. How was everybody's week?
Well, I guess my week was pretty good. Same old, just working and trying to keep my eye on the prize of spring break. So close but so far away. I was able to hang out with a friend this weekend, come to town and visit, and we were able to go out to dinner and have some drinks and just enjoy each other. Haven't been able to see any of my friends in a long time, so it was nice to be able to do that. So yeah, I am doing pretty good. Looking forward to getting this week started and getting to the next weekend.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same for me. I'm counting down for spring break is on. I really can't complain today. This week wasn't a bad week. We had a couple nice weather days. I was able to um, go out to the park one day. Where, my friend and her family, they have started a youth football league, and so I went out to the park where they were practicing and everything. And so I'm going to try to make that a part of my like routine so I can still get outside. We took a couple laps in the neighborhood where the park is at, and try to just get back into, getting into this routine of working out because, I've been putting on weight and I got to get it up off to get ready for the summer. But yeah, the week has been pretty good. Like I said, no complaints. I took Saturday to kind of relax. I didn't do much of anything yesterday because I wanted to just chill. I feel like I was kind of on the go a lot, and um, I just didn't want to do nothing. I didn't want to go nowhere. I didn't want to like drive nowhere really for real. I wanted to like just chill, scroll if I wanted to scroll on the internet, talk on the phone for. So I end up, scrolling on the internet a little bit, talking on the phone a little bit. I did watch Beauty and Black, just a couple episodes. I didn't really even watch that much TV, when I think about it. And so yeah, it was pretty cool, pretty chill. And now we're just doing, getting ready for the next coming week. And like I said, the countdown to spring break.
I echo a lot of what you both said already. Definitely looking forward to spring break. I have had a busy last 5 or 6 weeks. I don't know,
Mhm.
like with the lesson is and all this, with my work situation and all the stuff that's been going on, but it's definitely heavy on your boy. And then on top of it, me being in school. So yesterday I was supposed to like get all my homework done, but I don't know if it's ever happened to you where you like wake up in the morning and like the cleaning spirit hit you and like hit you heavy, like you just want to clean your whole entire house. So I started my homework, but then the cleaning spirit hit me, and I stopped what I was doing, and I just immediately got to just getting everything washed, mopping the floor, I wiping down doors. I just felt like I needed to clean my house like deep, 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 deep clean. And so and when it hits you, you got to do it. You can't put it off because if you do, it'll go away, and then you don't do it. So I did that yesterday, and then I went out to eat with a friend, and that was it. So I'm like kind of playing catch up today. So it's been kind of a busy day for me as well. Um, I've been getting into my Doechii bag lately. I hadn't really listened to a lot of her music. So the other day I just started playing like the Citrus playlist, and she has some really, first of all, she has some songs that I didn't even know was her songs. Like it was songs I had heard before, didn't even know it was Doechii. And then just other songs that I really, really enjoyed. So I'm excited about that, like get into some new music, and
Mhm.
I like when I get to discover like, new artists or whatever. So I've been enjoying her this weekend as well. Watched a little TV, and honestly, at this particular point, it's just like you said, I got another week and a half or 2 weeks before break.
Nice.
So let me get to it. I'm ready to get to it.
Do you have any spring break plans?
Nothing crazy or fun like going out of town.
Mm-hmm.
I need to clean out my garage. I need to clean out my closet and get rid of some clothes. So those are the two things I think I'm gonna do is get the garage cleaned out, so I can fit my other car in there, and then I'm gonna go through my clothes and just donate clothes, make room for new clothes, and just organize. In terms of fun, I'll probably go out in the city a couple times, maybe
Mm-hmm.
drinks with a friend or two throughout that week. But I don't have any out of town plans. So
Right. What about you, Wise? Any spring break plans?
Um, no, I was thinking of doing another trip, a little solo hiking trip or whatever. But the location that I wanted to go to, I don't like to go super far for spring break because it's only a week, and I want to be able to relax a little bit. So like, I don't want to be able to make a whole to do about traveling all far. So I was trying to keep it in driving distance, and I was thinking about going to the Indiana Sand Dunes National Park, which is in Indiana. It's right off the lake. It's really nice. But I was worried about the weather not being nice enough yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's still the Midwest, like it's by the lake. I didn't want it to be like cold and rainy and stuff like that. So spring break is probably just gonna be chilling, relaxing. Maybe I'll do a little staycation or something like that. Um, I also have been listening to new music too, though. As you brought up, I had watched this I actually saw a clip of a Tiny Desk of this soca artist, the legendary soca artist. If you didn't know, I didn't know, learned it, named Michelle Montano. And when I watched the Tiny Desk, you know, I like to listen to music, and I feel like a lot of not a lot, but music can be sometimes the new music just it's down. It's nothing, you want something to uplift you, want something to make you feel good, and sometimes it's hard to find that. And it's this genre soca. If you've ever listened to it, it's very Caribbean, it's very uplifting, positive messages and things like that. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
listening to him for the past week or so, and been enjoying that. So if you want to listen to some new music, something upbeat, it's got me want to take a vacation, I'll tell you that. I was telling my friend yesterday, like, we might need to hit up Jamaica or something this summer, because I'm in that mood listening to that music. But did you have a spring break plan story?
Yeah, some of the same stuff. I think I'm going to do initially I wanted to do is kind of like a staycation somewhere, but really I'm like trying to line up stuff for the summer. So as of now, I think I'm just going to do some tasks around the house. Like Wesley said, I need to clean the garage, I need to clean out closets, I need to shampoo carpet. And I also want to do a spa day. So what I'm going to do is I probably will do a spa day for one day of my spring break. I've already been kind of eyeing like some of the treatments I want to try. And so I was like, I'm gonna do that, kind of spend some time at the spa for the day, and then I'm gonna do the house task. What I really need to do though is kind of schedule how I want to do it, because I feel like I don't want to spend my whole spring break cleaning and doing housework. Like, because I feel like then you don't get a full
right.
rest and a full break. So I think I might try to spend like maybe Monday and Tuesday of spring break shampooing the carpet and organizing and stuff like that. And then maybe I'll do my spa day on like Wednesday or Thursday, and then kind of just relax the rest of the days, because I don't want to just wear myself out doing everything. And I might even, now that I'm thinking about it, I might even try to just start working on some of the closets before spring break, because sometimes I can get overwhelming to do even in just a day. So maybe I'll start doing that, especially if I don't have anything too crazy planned the next couple weekends. It's just getting a head start. So yeah, but we'll
I
see.
think what I'm gonna do to make sure I still get some time to myself is that Saturday, Sunday, like when the break starts, right? Do the closets. So that way
Hmm.
on Monday I can just drop stuff off to where it gotta go. And the
Yeah.
closets be done on Monday. And maybe all I gotta do is do the garage on Monday or Tuesday. And then basically I can have the rest of the week to do the other activities. So I'm gonna utilize that weekend. I'm not gonna want to do anything the weekend before I go back to work. So,
Right.
Right.
so,
Exactly.
so I think that I'll be more apt to have the energy to do something that Saturday and that Sunday probably, and get it out the way early, and then hopefully still have 4 days to just
Yeah.
do stuff.
That's a good idea. Good idea. So let's go ahead and get into our this week's episode, and we're gonna go ahead and go to our talking points and just us talking about things that have occurred this past week or so, and little hot topics and things going on. And I wanted to just touch base briefly on Kanye West. Okay, guys. Every now and then he be quiet and he come back and it's a bull. Okay, it's so this week it's been the same, sentiment. It's been some bull. So he goes on a little tweeting rampage rant, and he just talk about a few different things, and I'm going to show the tweets but read them as well so y'all can see, and then we'll talk about it. But basically, in one tweet he says, um, wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? He says they are, and he uses the R word, which we know we don't use anymore. But he says no, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having our children is a choice. Okay, so then he says, I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyonce's family down and Jerry Lorenzo's family down because there was a possibility of my Twitter being canceled, not because I'm a good person. I took it down like Down syndrome. Get it? Am I right? Am I right? F the world, real talk. F everybody. And so this is what he tweeted. He went on a spiral. There were some other tweets that he also used, and I didn't get all the other tweets, but he also mentioned about how he wasn't going to apologize to J and B until they helped him with his kids and getting his kids and things like that. And so I just, first of all, again, like I said, in the tweets, he uses the R word, which we do not use anymore. It's very offensive to people. And as well as, at what point is my question, do we get a conservatorship for Kanye? Because I just feel like, how come he can spiral all these times on and off, but nobody's tried to get him assessed or anything like that? But there's other people that we've seen have issues and they get their banks frozen, they can't do business, they got to go, and be cleared by medical professionals and stuff like that because they are having episodes or whatever. And I'm just like, at this point, when is somebody else going to step up and figure out really what's going on with him and put an end to this? Because this is getting out of hand.
Well, for the conservatorship part, some of that has to do with finances. So It's like a number of, if you're spending your money improperly because of a mental health issue or whatever it might be, or you're being controlled in some kind of way and you're wasting your money, that's one of the ways in which they'll come in. Or if you're not making like the best life decisions. The problem is Kanye is tweeting and saying horrible, horrendous things. And I believe he's probably abusing his wife. But other than that, I don't know what else he's doing that would be like, And when I say abusing his wife, I mean like probably like mentally and emotionally. Like the stuff he got her Bianca out here doing, I think he got to be. And then some other stuff that he did also was that, okay, he was going to take North, his oldest daughter North. He basically put her on a song featuring Diddy or something like that. And so Kim had to get her try to get her off the song. And then, or he might have released the song if I'm not mistaken. And then I guess he tried to put a stop to it. And then he's complaining that this white woman, Kim Kardashian, is keeping him and brainwashing his black kids. And I'm like, you chose to get a white woman pregnant. You chose to marry a white woman. You chose to have kids with a white woman. And now you're using this card of my black kids are being brainwashed and taken from me by this white woman. Miss me with that, Kanye. And furthermore, we need to stop blaming the fact that his mama passed. At some particular point, like we got to just say,
some like people still blaming it on that
correct
situation, his antics and his outbursts and things like that.
It's far beyond that. He definitely has some mental health issues. To me, I mean, I'm not a medical professional, but it's some episode of some sort. I mean, he's clearly not well. I mean, it just even in recently, but even before this, I think he was like wearing a a t-shirt with a swastika on it. Like he's just doing things that are incendiary for attention. And I think that he in his mind somehow believes that I don't know. I don't know what he thinks he's getting out of it. I don't know, but he needs to just
Well, what
he
if
has
I
all the
forget?
money and all the resources to get the help that he needs. He does not think that he needs any help. And there's no one that can really stop him. I mean, what can you do? He's rich. He can pay any doctor for any service to say anything. I mean, it's just he's just a loose cannon out here. It's unfortunate. Some people had said that it's kind of morbid, but that he probably like wants to be unalived. You know, I don't know anything about that, but like people are like, clearly the way that he's moving and he's just unwell. It's really
Mm.
sad to see where he came from, you know, to where he is now. It's just like it's really sad. It's the only way to put it. I mean, I don't
Well,
feel any.
what about the notion that there's some, because there is from what I was heard is that he is about to release a new album. So, do we think that some of this stuff is calculated and deliberate because now he wants this attention and he wants this kind of like buzz if he's about to drop a new album? Because out of all the things you can say when you have your rants, why does it go to people who are so, you know, there's going to be a reaction when you mention B and J, especially their kids. You know there's going to be a reaction when you mention your ex-wife, you know, Kim Kardashian, and y'all kids. So is there some thoughts about maybe he is doing certain things in a calculated way, and because he have this mental health history, he knows people are going to go there and he's playing into it?
I don't think so. Only because Kanye West has a cult following, and I'll use that
Mhm.
word specifically.
Yeah, he does.
Within the last several years, it's just it's to me it's been kind of weird, but it's like a cult following. He did this little Sunday services, and he had those people
Mhm.
going out to the field and
Mhm.
doing weird stuff. And then to me, the real kicker was his damn clothing line and the shoes, the ugliest shit ever. I'm sorry,
Oh
not cute, but people paying hundreds of dollars for that stuff because it's Kanye.
no, what got
People
me was the school, and
in the school,
you mother effers sent
yes,
y'all
sending your kids to
children.
that
Y'all
school.
sent y'all children to a school because of West's name was on it.
So
You mother effers
I
are
don't
stupid.
I don't think he needs the publicity. There are people who, and I at one time would have agreed with you, and maybe still will on a music tip that he was a musical genius. People they really believe that. I think he was extremely talented as a rapper and a producer and a writer and all that. He's created a lot of notable work that you know I have enjoyed over the years. Um, so I don't think that I don't think the antics are gonna. I mean, maybe some
Hmm.
people who maybe people outside of the cult following will pay more attention to it, but I think he always is gonna have his core people that respect
Yeah.
him as an artist that was still gonna listen. So to me, that's I mean, I don't know. Could be, but it don't
Yeah.
make much sense to me.
And I just want to throw that out there as a, you know, another perspective just to see. I don't know. I don't know. But get it together. I mean, I don't think it's I feel for his kids. Like I feel those are the ones who are really infected. I also feel for like the people he speaks on too. You know what I mean? Kids are innocent. You know, and it's hard because you know if he's going around here saying these things and he does have a mental health issue, and I just you know it sucks because you're saying things that can have an impact emotionally on other people who aren't not
Mhm.
in your immediate circle anymore, and you know it's unfortunate. So,
Yeah. Well, if I was Kim Kardashian, supervised visitation only. Okay.
Oh yeah, you don't be
That's,
taking my
that's
kids nowhere with your crazy ass.
supervised visitation only. Okay. Another thing that happened this week that was kind of very, very big on social media and the news, I guess. So we have, the Breakfast Club, which is a black syndicated radio show here in the U.S. And three hosts usually, three hosts normally. We have DJ MB, Charlemagne, and Just Hilarious. Just Hilarious became popular, I guess, via Instagram and maybe and Twitter and stuff like that. And she was making skits and stuff. And she started doing comedy. And basically, when Angela Yee left the Breakfast Club, the show, they started having, these other co-hosts come in, temporary co-hosts to come in to kind of get a feel for who would take her spot. And it ended up being Jess Hilarious. Well, soon after Jess got the job, she got pregnant. And of course, you get pregnant, you got to go on maternity leave. And so when she went on leave, there is a journalist, a producer, Lauren LaRosa, who ended up getting the job or doing the job temporarily. And basically, when she was on the show, people in the comments were like, "Oh, she's doing a really great job." People have made jokes that Jess Hilarious can't read well, that she mispronounces words.
She can't.
So you get this woman on the show who has all this experience, and she's fact checking, and she has her citations, and just the things that a journalist would do. And unfortunately, journalism is not really, I guess, important anymore in radio. That's a whole another conversation for another day. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the comments people were just saying like, "Listen, we need Lauren on the show." Well, Jess Hilarious comes back. Lauren doesn't leave. And apparently it got really awkward. This has been going on for some time, and it got really, really awkward. So Jess, what she did was she went on Instagram Live or TikTok Live or something, some sort of live, and she basically rants about the fact that Lauren is still on the show, and that she felt a way about it with her co-host DJ MB and Charlamagne the God. And so I have a little bit of a clip. I'm just going to show some of it, what she said, and then we'll talk about it.
Then when I pulled you into the office with our EP with Eddie, the first thing I said to you was, "Jess, we fighting for airtime and it shouldn't be like that. I want to know what can I do better as a producer? What can we do better as the two women sitting right here next to each other to make sure that don't happen, because it doesn't look good. It's not going to play well for either one of us."
I literally swear to God, I don't even remember you saying that.
And that's exactly why I had Eddie in the room, or EP, to have the
I never ever heard that.
Because
you've pulled me to the side a few times to ask me, are you okay? How do you feel like about the stories and things like that? You've never said what you just said to me. Now listen. I have said, hush, shut up. Like, yo, you overtalk. And like I said, I'm not about to be up here fighting for no mic. Like, I'm not doing that. If I already got the job, like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not. It's four voices. Three of us are very opinionated. You know what I mean? Me, you, and Charlamagne. I'm not saying Envy don't got no opinion, but he don't jump in every single time there's dead air. You know what I'm saying?
So here at this particular point, this is after she's already gone on her live to kind of talk about how she was frustrated. And it's almost like three different things happen, right? She does her live, and the conversation there is like, "Oh my God, is this professional? Why would you do this? Why would you have this conversation publicly?" Then she speaks with Envy and Charlamagne, and then she speaks with Lauren. That's what you just heard, the clip we just saw there. So I guess my first question before we move forward is, do you think it's unprofessional? Was it unprofessional of her to go live and air these grievances to her social media? And
yes. I definitely think it's unprofessional. However, yes, I feel like it's unprofessional, because I feel like these are things before she went live could have been addressed with Lauren and the producers or whatever, what have you, before taking it to live, before taking it to social media. However, I think that because this is a show that is in the media and this is the Breakfast Club, they have a big platform. I think that it's almost like she probably did it to also gain more momentum, to get more views, more people, talking about the situation, and kind of get more people saying things. However, if she was like a part of a show, like, I don't know, Good Day America, or you wouldn't do that. You just wouldn't. But the Breakfast Club is a certain type of show where I guess you feel that this is what you can do. You can go to social media and air out these business things or whatever. I don't think it was the right thing to do. I feel like it should have been a conversation that they had behind closed doors and try to figure it out. And then even this clip when they were in the studio again talking about this whole situation on airtime where y'all supposed to be doing your job, I still feel like is another um inappropriate thing to do. But I feel like they are also trying to get ratings and trying to do what they can to get ratings. I have heard, and I don't want to say for sure verbatim, because I didn't do the research, so I'm just gonna say, but I have heard that their ratings have been dropping since they had the whole shakeup and everything. And then I've also heard some people say that they do enjoy Lauren because she brings a different perspective outside of the other talent, like in Envy and Charlemagne, who may not do a lot of the research or who might not be well versed on certain topics. And it was a fresh air to have Lauren there to kind of be like that professional, and she did her work and did her research, and they like to hear that. So I've heard that too. Some people do like Jess. Some people think she's funny. Some people do like her. But then I've also heard some people say that, again, the comments that you said, she kind of don't read. She don't always know all the topics. And sometimes she has ignorant statements or things like that, maybe unprofessional. So I just feel like some of this could have been handled behind scenes. But I do think maybe Jess kind of got a little insecure, maybe, because it's like I'm coming back to do my job and I'm thinking this person gonna be gone and they're still here and they're doing part of my job, and what's going on? Like, I think she might have felt a little insecure, and I think where she went wrong is I think she kind of went in for Lauren when there's people above y'all that make decisions. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I don't like the way it looks as if you're pitting these two Black women against each other, or they're trying to fight for a spot over each other when it didn't have to be like that. And I just think, I wish she would have went a different way. I just wish she would have did it a different way.
I feel like this behavior is expected from her. She is not a smart person. She's very ignorant. She says ignorant things, and her comedy is very lowbrow to me. I don't think she's funny at all. I was actually quite shocked that she even got the job in the first place, being that Angela Yee, her role kind of on that show is more in the lane of what Lauren is doing. And so it makes sense to me that people, if it's true that the ratings were dropping, probably because you have three of the same people now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had Angela, who when she was there was in the more professional, the more well-read, asking more in-depth questions role, and you replaced her with Just Hilarious, who's going to do the social media thing and make ignorant comments and not do no research, which she's admitted herself in one of those videos I clip seen where she admits, I don't do what Lauren does. I do Just with the Mess. I guess that's the name of her segment, and she does that in her own way, which assumptionally means without the research and without the fact checking and all that stuff. Someone tweeted this, and I took a screenshot of it because it just perfectly encapsulates what I feel this problem really is. And this person said, Just Hilarious and the Breakfast Club drama is a prime example of social media celebrities actually being in talent-based environments that they don't actually have the skills and expertise for, but they got the job because of their social media presence. And I feel like that's exactly what it is. If I was in Just Hilarious shoes, I would have not even been surprised that this was what's going to happen. Because when y'all know my undergraduate degree is in digital media, and we learned a lot about different industries. And when it comes to being in media, it's a very cutthroat type of situation. And you might go on maternity leave in your spot. If the ratings work out and the audience and the advertisers are loving this person who's filling you in, you might not come back. There is no guarantee. So I feel like she should have handled herself differently. If they kept you on, they were trying to work with the four of y'all, you needed to make yourself more valuable. And that's where you tap into a skill set that you have. You tap into experience that you have. You talk to mentors in your field and figure out a way to make yourself valuable and stand out on the show. Instead of doing that, she let the comments and her own insecurity get in there, and she went to what she knows best, which is running her mouth on the internet.
Yeah.
And we'll see if what comes out of it going forward. But like you said, Tori, there's people that make higher ups that make these decisions. They wanted Lauren there, Lauren there for a reason.
You said something that I was going to illuminate, that Jess didn't do her research. Now, I shared this story before years ago, how I was introduced to Wendy Williams my junior or senior year of college. And I almost changed my major because of Wendy Williams, but I didn't. But one of the things that Wendy said, Wendy was in radio before she was a TV host, and she was on syndicated radio. One of the ways in which she was able to move up in her career is because Wendy said she never went home. She said anytime somebody had the flu, anytime somebody wanted to go on vacation, anytime it was Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, Wendy would pick up all those radio shifts. And so then she would end up getting promoted because people would hear her more and more and more. When Wendy was pregnant with her son, she had to go on bed rest for like the whole entire pregnancy because she had so many miscarriages. She told that radio station to put the microphone in my bedroom. Okay, I'm not about to be off work for 9 months. So, like why I said how cutthroat the industry is, I think if Jess had done her research to kind of know what some of the giants have done in this industry, she might have not done some things differently. And I'm not about to sit here and shame nobody. I do not want to shame anybody for getting pregnant. However, why do you get pregnant when you get a brand new job? And she said it was a planned pregnancy. It wasn't no like accidental situation. Ain't no way if I had a syndicated radio show with a good check for 4 hours a day, I'm a planning a pregnancy on purpose to miss work.
Not this early on, in a transitionary period of the show. Like
she haven't solidified her spot long enough, and I don't know what that contract is, but
Secondly, if you get a job, like one thing you also learn through when you have had a professional career before, so not to take out like the entertainment aspect or the influencer aspect, but you learn the importance of mentorship, and you learn the importance of getting better, right? Doing better. So, and that's whatever field you're in. You learn that I need a mentor, I need somebody I can trust, somebody I can run ideas by, somebody I can talk to. So clearly Jess doesn't have any mentorship like Wise mentioned. But the second thing is, if you know that you're not reading well, if you know you're mispronouncing words, if you know you're getting the stories messed up, why not improve? Why not get you a tutor? Why not get an elocution specialist? Why not like learn how to get somebody to teach you how to properly pronounce the words? Hell, read the story 3 or 4 or 5 times before you get on the air, just so that you can sound better, especially knowing that that was the role that Angela Yee had. We don't really, unfortunately, Charlamagne and DJ Envy, we not looking at them for intelligence. I don't watch the show like that. But most folks are looking at them for humor, laughter, but not to say anything really smart. I think Charlamagne is trying now, but it's still a little shaky over there. So I think that I think sometimes, like you said, when that quote talks about, people who have the popularity getting these positions, it's still okay to learn. It's still okay to study. It's still okay to be a student. It's still okay to figure out how to do better and be better so that you can perform better,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So on our last show, we also mentioned sadly that Angie Stone had passed away. And so Angie Stone's family graciously, they had a open ceremony and for Angie, and they streamed it. And so after of course there were various speakers and singers there. Kiki Wyatt was there. She sang her face off as per usual. And Tyler Perry was there as well. And he spoke about how the music industry did Angie Stone wrong, and how Angie Stone is and what was a pioneer, right? She was the first first female rap group who was popular, and she wrote so many songs, and she had a lot of money missing throughout her career. And so after this, the services are over, and Monique goes viral because Monique comments to Tyler. So I'm going to read what Monique said, and then we'll talk about time and a place. So it says open letter to Tyler Perry. We would like to give our, she says we is her and her husband Sydney, by the way. We would like to give our, right, we would like to give our heartfelt condolences to Angie Stone's family and friends. Sister Angie, we stand on the shoulders of the elders and ancestors like you. So please know that your fight inspired us to write this letter and that the fight doesn't end with your passing, as it is only beginning. Dear Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband Sydney as poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me. You expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you've imposed the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong. You asked, where's the money she's owed? Well, where's my public apology that you promised in 2016? The false narrative you perpetrated helped blackball me, costing me tens of millions. Where's the restitution for that? Number three, you mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. You said we should be careful in how we treat children of God. As a man of faith, where is your responsibility to act with love and truth? You promised me an apology years ago, but it's yet to come. Unlike the music industry, which you rightly criticize, we have audio documentation of your actions. Shouldn't you be held accountable too? In closing, I hope your words at Angie's funeral inspire you to correct the wrongs done to my family and me. You have the power to do so. As you've shared biblical teachings, please remember, what will it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? Mark 8:36. We await your response with love and respect, Monique and Sydney. So she posts this after the funeral, after Tyler gives his speech about Angie or at Angie Stone's funeral. And of course, there's mixed feelings about Monique's statement. On one end, people feel like it was inappropriate, that it was not the right time and the place. How dare she make Angie's funeral about her? And some people felt that she's standing on business and that she's standing on Tyler Perry's neck and that she is holding him accountable. What say you?
Um, let me not try to. I have so many things to say. Someone said that Monique will never get rid of her problems because her problem is laying next to her at night.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she and Sydney have a twisted reality that they live in. And until she's able to get up from under that and open up her own eyes and make her own decisions for herself fully, um, she is never going to get any peace. I feel like we have been going through this for so long with her that it's like I'm tired of hearing about it. Point or not. I don't think that this was a good time for her to talk about this. It was not. We're talking about Angie Stone's, her funeral. Let her family mourn and put her to rest without making it about you. I also feel like she's been asking for this public apology for all this time. It's clear that you're never going to get it. When are you going to move on? Because I honestly don't believe there is much for her to gain from a public apology at this point. You've already tarnished your reputation. So the public apology is not really going to fix any of that. It's not. You've already left a bad taste in people's mouths. It's not going to help you get more jobs. Hell, Cat Williams had you on his tour, and we ain't heard that you was killing it. We ain't heard nothing about that. I have not seen it from Monique for a long time, but after the situation about a year or so ago with her son, I just said, you know what? She's not well. I don't, and I think it also was wrong for her to try to use God and say, talk about Tyler Perry's soul. You don't know nothing about his soul and where it's going. That ain't for you to say. So I think she needs to move on. That's what I think.
Yeah, I also, how can I say this politically correctly? Lord help me. Okay, so when she did her special, her Netflix special, she admitted in her Netflix special that she was in special education classes in high school, in school. And I guess, and I guess I just wonder, and some of the things, I guess I wonder if she's being taken advantage of by her husband. She talks about how she didn't know how to properly clean herself until she met her husband. She talked about how her husband has raised her. She calls him daddy. And so it just makes me feel like I wonder how much of this is him and not even her. And she's just like the mouthpiece. And he's been the mouthpiece sometimes, But time and a place is so important. And this is why you can't have yes people in your life, because I just feel like this family is grieving. We've lost a soul singing icon. Why would you think this would be an appropriate time to make this about you? That to me says a lot about her character. And even if Tyler Perry didn't say she was not difficult to work with, other people have said it who work with her. So, okay, Tyler didn't say it. Tyler didn't work with you, but other folks who have said it. So I don't, again, she won her lawsuit against Netflix. She got her money. She got her Netflix special. So I'm assuming she's happy with that. She's made up with Lee Daniels, and she's done, I think, 2 movies with him since then. So she's worked with Lee, since then. But I think there's something to be said that you would make this statement now. Precious came out my first year teaching, and that was almost 20 years ago. So I'm just like, at some point, like, what you gonna do?
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is I want her to be able to move forward. I want her to move forward, and then sometimes in life, even though people do us, wrong, we just gotta. You're not gonna get no peace until you can just kind of forgive and just move about your life. No matter what they do or say, if they don't even ever tell you a sorry or give you any kind of recognition for whatever happened, like, you got to be able to get to a point where you can say, I know who I am. I know how I was in that situation, how I responded, and you can say that, hey, I was legit or whatever. And the world, you already told the world, you already shared this with the world many times, and then just kind of get to a place where you move on and be at peace with yourself. And that's my hope for Monique, because I feel like she's such a talented actress, a talented comedian. I want to see those things shine through. I want to see her move forward. I want to see her in more movies, and I want her to get to a point of peace to where she doesn't have to feel the need to bring up these things every time it's a situation that she feels that she could benefit from bringing it up from. Just, can we get to that point? And I'm not trying to silence you or anything like that. You spoke your piece before, multiple times before, and I'm all for people speaking their piece. But at some point, we got to move forward, even when people don't do or behave in a way that you think they should, or that they owe you something or some kind of apology or whatever. We got to be able to move forward.
She has to be willing. She has to want the peace for herself, and I think that's part of it too. Like, when you feel like you're owed something from somebody, you're not getting it, you have to decide personally within yourself that I'm gonna give peace for myself.
Yeah,
she's still holding on to that.
Yeah.
And my thing is that he's given her, and her, by her own admission, he's apologized to her on the phone. You got the recording of it. Play that back every single day. You got it. You know what I'm saying? You just want it to be a different way. It's not going to give you anything more than what you already have right now. It's not going to change anything for her. So she just got to figure that out.
I don't think it helps with the idea that she's not difficult to work with, because if I'm a producer or a director, or I have this movie I want, life happens. People are complicated. There might be conflict. I don't want to feel like if I have her on the show or in this movie and she don't like something, or something is a conflict, that now she gonna go on social media with her husband and they're gonna sit together and talk about everything that they didn't like
for 15 years.
But yeah. So that, to me, I wonder if she's still not working as often as she would like. I mean, like you said, if you're working with Lee Daniels, that's only one director, right, and producer. There's countless others in Hollywood. I wonder if people are really afraid to work with you, or if they don't want to work with your husband. They just want to work with you. You know what I mean? So I think at some point, you got to make decisions that's going to help your career. Is this helping your career? Are you making it easy for another director or a producer to actually want to give you a shot or give you a chance, when we all know that human beings are complicated people and there's bound to be some sort of conflict? We're going to disagree about something, you know what I mean? And how are you going to handle it? I think that's part of the problem too.
Yeah. Well, speaking of getting work and, getting your movies and stuff and everything, we can go ahead and talk about good old Jonathan Majors. Okay, so y'all know he kind of been a little on the cancer side a little bit. It's been a couple years since he had the whole abuse accusations that came up, and they went to court and everything with his ex-girlfriend, and he was found, I think it was guilty of 2 misdemeanors or something like that in regards to that incident. And so he has been on a press tour for this film called Magazine Dreams. And the film originally debuted at the Sundance Film Festival, which is very popular for indie movies to get their kind of spotlights from. And so it premiered there in 2023. And I guess now it is coming to the big screen. So he's been on a press tour, and he went and stopped by the Sherri Shepard show, where they shared quite a little touching moment. So go ahead, and we're going to watch that clip.
World in a different way.
Yeah.
So to see you portray this character, it touched my heart. Mm-hmm. So to see you portray this character, it touched my heart. Mm-hmm. So that's why I cried, because you so beautifully portrayed this man who just moves through the world. Thank you. I appreciate that. It really meant something to me watching that movie when I watched you.
Okay, so Sherri was just kind of giving him little flowers, saying that the movie touched her in regards to her son, and the movie is about a guy who is basically going into a bodybuilding competition type thing, and it's supposed to kind of portray his ups and downs as trying to kind of really create himself physically and also kind of fight different battles like emotionally and psychologically. And so he has been on a little run. His name has been in and out of the media, since everything occurred a couple years ago. So I think he's really trying to make his comeback. And I think some of these producers and filmmakers, some of them are trying to welcome him back slowly but surely. We'll see how far that would take him. As you guys know, it was also just told that he and Megan Good are now married, actually, and that his mother married them. So, I guess it's just, we're gonna have to see. How do you guys have you guys heard about this film, and how do you guys feel about his like re-emergence, and do you think it's going to stick? Do you think he'll get back to where he was, or I don't know? What do you guys think?
I actually want to talk about Sherri.
Okay.
So
we can, but I
mean,
just had a question about him too.
Okay, well, I'll answer that question first. Listen, Hollywood is forgiving for the most part. I think his downfall was that he hit a white woman, which they don't really take too kindly to that. But Robbie Downey Jr. has had issues in Hollywood. Mel Gibson has had problems, and they have issues. So I think this is par for the course. I think that his PR is probably doing the good old ABC 1, 2, 3 steps to get your client back in the good graces of people. I think him getting with Megan Good, who has a good image, was probably smart on their behalf. So I mean, in terms of, I don't know, it's not up to me to decide that people should be canceled. Right. I feel like at the end of the day, we all we all fall short of glory at some point in our life. So that is not up to me to decide.
So do you feel that Sherri, when she was crying about this portrayal on her show, do you think it had to do with her own son, or was she? Do you think it was a kind of a little stretch for, I don't know, everything that went on with Jonathan and her trying to kind of help him regain his some sympathy?
Well, what's her son got to do with it? I mean,
That's what I was lost at.
Well, I was kind of confused because
Okay.
but then again, maybe I don't know because I haven't watched the whole film,
okay,
so maybe there's something in the film that has not been
I got you.
described. To media.
This is my thing about Sherri, and I like Sherri Shepard a lot, but I think she's an actress. Keep that in mind, okay? She's an actress, okay. So I don't know if those tears were real. I'm be honest, they look like a little crocodile tears to me. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't think that shit was real.
Okay.
Secondly, I think that it's fun. You know, when you're a talk show host, you often have to, boost the ego of your client or not your client, of your guest or whatever. But what I want to say about Sherri is just a couple of weeks ago, she won this whole tirade about women and young women who rappers like Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla and all the young girls who dress provocatively. I think it was either the Oscars or the Grammys or something that had just happened, or Vanity Fair Party. It was some sort of Oscar event. And, the girls had their, cleavage showing, their back showing, and things of that nature. These are girls in their 20s, like young girls. And she just said that, they're role models, and Auntie Sherri is just old school where you need to put your stuff away. I just don't see how on one end you can say stuff like something like that, and then on the next end bring somebody on your show who admitted to on recording that he was aggressive with his girlfriend, that he had hit her or pushed her in some way, and that he told this white woman, his ex-girlfriend, told her that she needed to be his Coretta Scott King. That's what he told her. You bring him on the show and you cry and praise him. That's where Sherri losing me.
I'm actually going to try to connect the dots for you because I don't think that that's incongruent. I think it actually is very it goes together.
So
she is from a woman. She's a woman of a certain age, and women of certain generations, especially when it comes to men, black men, they put those men on a pedestal. They are very male-centered, very male-identified people, and they will uplift and support their son through baby mamas, going to jail, selling drugs, can't keep a job, living in your basement. But your daughter, she got to go to school. She can't have no baby. The daughter can't dress like a hoe. The daughter, all these rules and all the regulations for the women and for the daughter, how you need to be put together, and you got to have yourself together. Oh, but the black man, that's my baby. That's just mama's baby. That's exactly what it is. It's that old school misogyny that, or patriarchy rather, where you uplift everything what the man do. You want them to succeed. You got all the sympathy and all the support for them. But when it comes to other women, young women, you want to chastise and judge them and put regulations and rules on them that you don't have for their male counterparts. That's exactly what it is.
Well, that makes perfect sense to me.
Now that you break it down like that. Now that you break it down like that.
It's like it just clicked for me. Like you just got that old school patriarchal mindset. Where you just struggle to hold men accountable for what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, now that you break it down like that, I can see that, Wesley, why you have that issue with Sherri, and why you have eloquently broken down as to what the patterns in our culture that even have just emerged even on this platform and this level. We black women always have a greater standard that we have to rise to. And we always, and it's ingrained in the way your upbringing and just navigating life. And then it's like now we're at a point where you have people always saying, we need to protect the black woman. We need to, the black woman is the most unprotected in society. And it's the truth, because even as black women, we would protect our black men before we protect our black sister counterparts a lot of the time.
Yep.
So and
And
Yeah.
and I don't put nothing past anybody, and I feel like this whole thing is a setup to get him back in the forefront. Even like him being with Megan Good, and even like with Sherri crying, like I don't know if like I said, I don't know if this was real. I don't know if they had a conversation behind the scenes. If they said, "Hey, Sherri, we need you to help us get him in the good graces," so she just kind of played on her tears or whatever the case may be. But I just looking at it like something ain't in the milk ain't clean. And like I said, I'm not saying that we need to just keep this man like down and out and don't ever forgive him and let him work again,
Right.
But I definitely, it feels very PR-ish. I mean, it's obvious, it's just obviously PR-ish. Michael B. Jordan has said he wanted to work with him again, and somebody else, another actor, I forget his name, I think of it right now, mentioned it as well. And I mean, that's part of what you have to do. These movie studios need to make money, and so their talent has to be liked in the public eye. And if they aren't liked in the public eye, they don't make money, and it becomes an issue. So
I feel like ever since I'm not worried about Jonathan Majors. He gonna be all right. I feel like ever since the thing happened, he been doing PR stunts, and ever since then, I was just cracking up thinking about the fight he broke up.
Yeah. I feel like he's trying a different method, because usually other Black actors that have had similar situations in their past get brought up, they just fall off. They try and take time off to let it die down, and then, they never resurface. I feel like Jonathan Majors, whoever's on his team, they like, we're going to try a different method. We're going to keep you in the public and keep putting you out there and keep putting you in these fake situations where he breaking up fights at McDonald's or whatever, and all the other little stuff he was doing, get you with Megan Good and put you in this power couple marriage and all of this stuff to try and sway and see how it works.
I also think that whoever was on his team was trying, before all this blew up too, though, they were trying to kind of get a lot of the Black women support behind him. Because I remember he did that shoot, and was it for Ebony or Essence, or maybe it was Essence? I don't know. He did a shoot for one of the magazines, and all the Black women, I just think they were trying to get him market him for that Black woman support too, because Black women, when we support, our dollars run long. So I mean, when we think about even when just the boycott of certain big markets, big stores and stuff like that, because a lot of Black owned products are in the big stores like Target and everything like that. That you want to, if you tell Black women we gonna boycott this, like that is going to be a strong impact. We consume a lot of different things, so I mean it does feel a little PR-ish for me, but he's gonna be all right. Jonathan, you're gonna be all right. I mean, it's all right.
Well, y'all, listen, we're gonna transition to our third dose here, our this or that segment, and I wanted to talk about, I guess we can make it like a little music segment. I wanted to talk about Billboard. So Billboard always has these lists of things of top this and the most selling this. So the most recent list they had was the most recent list they had was for the woman best female artist of the century, or of the 21st century. And so it's basically the last 25 years. Okay, so it's 100 women on the list. So I of course can't go over the entire list, but I thought I would share the maybe bottom 15 and top 15, and then we can talk about it. Like, we'll do the bottom 15 first, and then we'll talk about it, and I'll do the top 15. Top 15. So at number 100, we have Danity Kane. At 99, we have...
That's very surprising, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. At 99, we have Vanessa Carlton. At 98, we have Fantasia. At 97, we have Fifth Harmony. At 96, we have Sade. At 95, we have Charlie XCX. Now, I'm going to stop right here. Charlie XCX. Because what song does she have? I can't remember.
I don't know who that is.
I know the name.
Let me see if I pull her up what her most popular song is. I couldn't tell you.
It said she was on Iggy Azalea's Fancy.
Okay, she was on that. That's probably her most famous song that you.
So higher than Fantasia. Fantasia singing Barino. Okay. 94, we got Toni Braxton. 93, we have Brenda Lee. I don't know who Brenda Lee is. Never heard of Brenda Lee. 92 was Lil' Kim. Okay, 92 was Lil' Kim. 91 was Haley Williams of Paramore.
Mm-hmm.
And 90 is BB Rexha. I hope I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying. Okay. Should we stop at 90 and just do the top 10, bottom 10, top 10?
Go ahead, do the next. Just go
Our
ahead.
next five then. So for 89 was Maya, 88 was Barbara Streisand, 87 was Carrie Hilson, 86
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Who wrote this list?
86 was Reba McEntire, and number 85 was Summer Walker. Now, what's got me is I'm surprised Summer Walker's 85. What okay?
That don't surprise me. I mean, she hasn't been out as long. I'm more surprised that they got Toni Braxton and Sade
Right.
below Carrie Hilson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who in the hell
Yeah.
decided that?
Tony,
shit?
the living legend, Braxton.
Now
Now listen, I like some Carrie Hilson songs. I ain't gonna hate that she got a little mean
No, she got
chin
some
game.
bop. She do.
But she does not come. She doesn't come before Tony
Toni
D.
Braxton.
But
Absolutely
it's
not.
over the last 25 years. So what has Toni Braxton done?
Oh god!
Iconic.
Wait a minute, 25 years. But they
25
have Barbara Streisand. Hold on.
Libra? The whole
So-
Libra album?
Was that 2000? Oh, that wasn't 2005.
Yes.
But then they have Barbara Streisand. They talking about
And Brenda Lee, ain't she?
Brenda
old?
Lee?
She must have released new music in the last 25 years.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know who ranking this list. I don't know how they made that.
Are you sure it's just the 25 years or because it said 21st century? Hold on, let me go back.
The 21st century's only been 25 years.
Something ain't right.
Okay.
They ain't do this right. They ain't do this right.
Yeah,
But go
I don't
ahead.
know.
Because even okay,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Are we done with the bottom before I go to the top? 15?
Yeah, we done. That was it.
Okay. Top 15. Number 15, we got Billie Eilish. Number 14, we got Britney Spears. 13, we have Carrie Underwood. Number 12, we have Mariah Carey. Number 11, we have Kelly Clarkson. Number 10, we have Alicia Keys. Now, I ain't no way Alicia Keys is before Mariah Carey.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Carrie Underwood is too high. I mean, Carrie cool. Well, she was cool. She a Trump supporter, so whatever.
Yeah,
But
The
Carrie,
epem-
she
the
ain't got to be that
emancipation-
high.
The Emancipation of Mimi. Are you serious?
Mm-mm.
hey.
Anyway, number 10 was Alicia Keys. Okay, number 9, Miley Cyrus. Number 8, Ariana Grande. Number 7, Pink.
No. No. They be giving these girls too much.
Okay.
Number 6, Lady Gaga. Number 5, Katy Perry. Number 4, Adele. Number 3, Beyonce. Number 2, Rihanna.
I knew it.
Who do you think's number 1?
I already seen it. I already know it.
Flapjacks, Miss
Taylor
Kate-
Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Okay. They do this to piss you off.
That don't
They
piss
do
me
this.
off. It don't piss me off because America is America, and Taylor Swift is Taylor Swift. So of course they gonna put her on the top of the list. That don't bother me. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say
Where the hell Pink got going on? Was she number 7?
nothing. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And Pink is cool, but
Well,
no.
wait a minute. Rihanna got number 2 over
Yeah,
Beyonce.
She did.
We did. We gonna get to that. But
About Pink though. So I was just watching the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine, and oh my goodness. What can I think of this man's name? L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid was the guest. And he was saying that he had talked to Pink. And she was like, she understood her niche as a performing artist, and her draw is her show and not her music. Like her performances are over the top, that she's flying through the air, she's doing all kind of crazy stuff, and she can't sing, but like she's not selling music anymore, she's selling her performance. And I feel like that's very true. We know Pink most of the time this days because she's flipping around flying somewhere. That girl, she don't need to be number 7 on that list. She's too damn high for me.
Okay.
Too high.
So our top 5: Katy Perry, Adele, Beyonce, Rihanna, and Taylor Swift.
No. I like Katy Perry. I had my moment with Katy Perry, but she don't need to be number 5. That's ridiculous.
I think because why is Lady Gaga number 6? I mean, I feel like if between Katy Perry and Lady Gaga, I would have swapped them.
Yeah.
So our top 3: Beyonce is number 3, Rihanna is number 2, Taylor Swift is number 1. Why do you think they put Rihanna number 2 and Beyonce number 3?
I couldn't tell you. Because there's nothing that
Listen.
Rihanna does more better than more better, child.
Rihanna had her moment. She did push out some albums back to back to back to back to back to back. She did. She really did.
She did.
So I'm not too mad about it. I guess I'm thinking of like the performance piece that Beyonce would have been a little bit ahead of Rihanna in the terms of performance. Rihanna, we know she do her little 1-2, her little dance twerk, da-da-da. But Beyonce puts on a show, okay? A show. But I guess if we're only going on Billboard hits, I don't know. If we go on just on Billboard hits and not performances and stuff, but this still don't add up though. To me.
I will say you make a good point because Rihanna talked about how she was in that bad label, that bad contract,
right?
And she had to produce all these albums to get out of her contract. So it was a season or a few seasons where Rihanna was dropping 1 or 2 albums a year. It was like, you know,
right.
And they were none of her albums ever flopped. They all did well, you know.
But were they better than Beyonce's?
But see, they're talking about the Billboard charts though, so it's got to be.
Oh, so this is all about charts.
This list this is Billboard. This is who had the most runs and the streams or whatever the weeks on the Billboard. So if this is what it is, then that's probably why she was popping out back to back to back to back to back. You know,
now, what I will say that kind of gets me with the Taylor Swift thing. Taylor Swift, in my opinion, I could be wrong. I'm not an expert, but it doesn't seem like Taylor Swift has a diverse fan base. Whereas Rihanna and Beyonce, and so I guess even Adele, how does Taylor Swift get #1 with the same fan base?
Because it's a lot, probably more than it is of other people. You know, it's just,
we're still at number here.
Demographic of America. It's like that don't surprise me.
Well, then there you have it.
There you have it. That's why she's #1. Because of the, you know.
Yeah, but I also feel like it's kind of not fair because Taylor had to re-record a lot of her albums, so some of her stuff is re-released. So you re-releasing stuff, and it's resurging on the charts again. You know, I mean, how was that calculating into figuring into the calculations? I don't know.
I just can't believe that. But Danity Kane made the list at all.
Now you're not gonna do Danity Kane like that. Now, okay, now.
I mean, even though they were 100, I'm just saying.
Danity Kane had they had a run, okay, and they got some good songs. So
I didn't say they didn't have any good songs. Like I'm just saying for them to make the list. I mean, okay.
For them to make the list.
Okay. All right. And see, this is the reason why I don't think it's just it's not just the last 25 years, because they put Sade on here and Sade had no.
Well, she released Soldier of Love.
That was on one album in 2010. That was 2010.
But that's in the past 25
years. It must have charted somewhere.
You know,
I guess. She did release and then she did a re-release. They did a re-release of their Ultimate collections, and so I guess that's another reason why if they did a re-release of a classic,
right?
I guess, child.
Well, let us know if y'all agree.
Let's know what y'all thinking. I don't know how I feel about that list. Well, we know who our #1 girl is. Okay, that's Beyonce. Don't need to be said. I saw this Twitter thread and I thought it was interesting for us to do a little comparison. They took, I don't know if this is all of her collaborations, but some of our most popular collaborations, and they pitted them against each other. And we got to choose.
Her collabs?
Right. Her
okay
collaborations with other artists.
And they put it against each other.
They put other collabs together. Okay. And we got to choose which one we think is the one of the two. Okay. And then we'll see which one won. Who won? Okay, so #1, I started with most recent Cowboy Carter. They got Sweet Honey Buckin' and Tyrant.
Who's the collab on Tyrant? Is that
Dolly Parton? I don't know who this.
Dolly Parton and somebody else is on there too.
Her voice is at the beginning of the song. I guess that's
it must be Dolly Parton. Okay,
the collaboration.
Ooh. Which one? Oh,
that's hard.
right. I'm like,
Think
oh,
that.
man.
Get ready. Cowboy Carter. Which
I mean, I
one?
know it's just hard. I guess I'm gonna have to go with. I might do Sweet Honey Buckin'. I like that it's like 3 songs in one,
It
kind of.
is.
And so I do like when she kind of do that because sometimes you don't realize this is like another beat, a whole nother level, a whole nother feel. And I do like when she does that. So I guess I'm gonna go with Sweet Honey Buckin'.
The problem with me I'm having is Tyrant make me feel like a Tyrant make me
A tyrant?
feel like I'm just the baddest in the room. Tyrant make me feel like ain't nobody in there but me. Tyrant make me feel like
Mhm.
just that I work down to. Ooh, never mind. Oh, but I think Sweet Honey Buck is a better song. But Tyrant makes me feel better.
Uh-huh. I see what you're saying.
And when we go to the concert, I want to hear. Oh,
All of them. I'm
I
sorry.
know, but
I need to hear both both
Right, you cannot.
I'm gonna go with Tyrant.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Sweet Honey Buckin' also.
Okay.
That's the 3-in-1, and I love the little how she slowed it down to honey.
I do like that.
Tyrant won. 53% was
Okay.
Tyrant.
I mean, that's close still.
That's
I mean,
close.
It is
Close.
close, yeah.
Okay,
it's
this
hard.
this one's a blowout.
Oh wow.
Family Feud featuring Jay-Z. This was on his, I think this was on his 444 album.
Mhm.
And then Upgrade You featuring Jay-Z.
Oh, Upgrade You.
Yeah, I was gonna say Upgrade You.
That's easy, right? 88%.
I don't really want to hear from you like that.
Okay. I don't need that, but anyway. All right, so we got featuring the daughters. Protector featuring Rumi.
Oh
No, don't
Blue featuring Blue Ivy.
Don't do it. First of all, both of the songs made me
versus
cry.
Second
I would say that both of those songs have made me cry. Ugh. This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna say,
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna say Protector.
Okay.
I don't even know why.
I was gonna say you can't explain why.
Blue. Okay, I feel like Blue don't belong on Beyonce. Okay, not that it don't belong on Beyonce, the self-titled album, but it definitely kind of interrupts the flow a little bit. And when I listen to self-titled, I might skip it. Whereas I probably won't skip I don't skip Protector on Cowboy Carter. So I'm saying Protector.
I cannot.
I tend to agree. I tend to agree with that sentiment. So I'm choosing Protector as well.
I cannot. I cannot. This is very sentimental. Okay.
Come on, just first, what's on your heart? Just throw it out there.
Well, I want to say one more thing. Then, what you thinking? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go with Blue. I'm gonna go with Blue.
Okay.
I just feel like this was Beyonce had her first baby. The first song.
You thinking of all of that extra? I mean, the song. We're talking about the songs, girl. It's just
I mean, to me, I like I said, they both are very sentimental, and I think I like them both. It's hard for me to choose. I like them both, but I'm gonna just go with Blue.
Well, Tori, you were in the majority. 59% chose Blue.
Okay.
59% chose Blue. All right, we got some male features here. Superpower featuring Frank Ocean. Mine featuring Drake. From Beyonce.
I'm gonna do mine because I'm not really feeling Frank Ocean right now anyway. So
I just felt Frank Ocean went off on the vocals though in Superpower, and but I do love mine too. Though
I feel like mine is more relatable in terms of lyric, like the stuff they're talking about. It's like you can just that's a universal feeling.
It is. But mine was my song, and I played that the most, I would say. So I got to go with mine because I mean, off the rip, love me. I love, like I said, Frank's vocals on Superpower and all, but mine was like on replay. So I'll go with mine. featuring Drake.
My one, 54% with mine.
You ain't pick wise.
Oh, I guess I'll go with mine too. I mean, I really like Superpower too, but okay, we got Kendrick features. Okay, featuring Kendrick Lamar, Freedom with Kendrick. America Has a Problem featuring Kendrick.
Right.
I can tell y'all right now off rip.
America,
Y'all know how I feel about America Has a Problem.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah.
I don't never skip that song.
Y'all know how I feel about the Renaissance when she performed that at the newsstand.
Yeah, I love that
and then
whole
when,
set.
When Kendrick came out and they did it together, I
love that whole set. I love the bee outfit. I love the little bee walk she did.
Yeah.
I love the news thing. I love all of it. I think that was just amazing.
And Kendrick, go stink.
Fuck it up. And when they play that, I mean, that's just you gonna move.
Yeah, you have to. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Got to be America Has a Problem.
America Has a Problem.
And that won. It was close though, 52%. 52%.
Yeah, America Has a Problem was my jam.
All right, so we got featuring female rappers now. Flawless featuring Nicki Minaj, Savage featuring Megan.
Wait, Savage is you said Savage?
Is that Beyonce?
That's not Beyonce's song, is it?
No,
That's
she's on a
Megan.
remix. She's on a remix with Megan though. Yeah.
But the other one is Feeling Myself is Beyonce's song.
No.
Feeling
Myself is Nicki's song.
Okay.
Okay, so you said Flawless. I'm sorry. There's something.
You did say Flawless.
Oh, I did say Flawless. Okay, you throwing me off. Yeah.
So
wait a minute.
Flawless. Wake up. Flawless.
Right.
Beyonce's song.
But you said Feeling Myself. So that's another song.
He said Feeling Myself.
I said that.
Okay. Nicki Minaj was on the Flawless.
Yes. Looking Trinidadian it. Japanese it.
Over Savage, which was actually Megan Thee Stallion's song. And B featured. C. I might gotta go with Savage. Only because I feel like, I mean, I like Flawless and all, but the Megan Thee Stallion Beyonce collab just give me a little more, I don't know, like something. Like it's the Houston ladies.
And Beyonce don't feature on other folks' songs often. Whereas she's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's only a handful of times where B has lent her vocals to somebody else's song. So I think that also gives it a little bit of a point boost, you know?
I would agree. I think that's more of a twerky bop that you will dance to. Nikki was tripping when she was talking about Michael Jackson and the Purple Ball and stuff. That was just too much for me. Okay. But Flawless won 57%.
Okay.
All right. We got the In Loves. Drunk in Love featuring Jay-Z versus Crazy in Love featuring Jay-Z.
I'm doing Drunk in Love.
I think I'm
go ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm doing Drunk in Love for me personally, but I think Crazy in Love probably won because of the iconic. It was just iconic moment. But for me, I'm choosing Drunk in Love.
I'm choosing Crazy in Love, like Tori said, because I remember when this song came out. I remember being in the living room. I remember seeing the video for the first time. I remember and it was Beyonce's breakout. Her was her first single as a solo artist, and you know we loved Destiny Child. So it was a stage of time when we was upset with Beyonce because we kind of blamed her for the group breaking up, and so when this song came out, I was like, oh, she got it. This is the one. So I'm gonna say Crazy in Love just because that solidified, like, okay, Beyonce.
What you gonna say?
I'm saying Drunk in Love. There's this little breakdown at the end of the bridge. It just itches that thing in my ear, you know. So I gotta go with Drunk in Love. That's just the one, you know.
All
right. Drunk in Love actually won 54%.
Oh, okay.
54%
I
won the poll.
figured they was gonna go for the.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's it. That's all the ones we got. The other ones I don't really care for. So, but yeah, so just getting us in a little bit of Beyonce mood. We got to get ready for the Cowboy Carter soon. So, listeners, let us know what your answers were, if you agree with us on our choices or the poll, the people that was in the poll, because they some of them disagree with us or agree. So let us know what y'all got going on. All right, y'all. Well, that is going to do it for the Triple Dose podcast this week. Thank you guys so much for listening. Remember to follow Instagram and Twitter at Triple Dose Pod. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it, give us a like, leave a comment, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
See ya.